so evident in the national scene.
There is no way that you...
I think we can work together, hopefully.
I don't ever say never, but you know, that's one thing that I'm hearing loud and clear from my constituents and people in Chautauqua County. If you ever think that any of us, and I can say this from the bottom of my heart, even from the Democratic end, we will have debates, we'll have political debates, we know that, but we're not going to become dysfunctional. Even before this election was settled, Chairman Alstrom and I met. We had cordial conversations about how we were going to continue to serve the people of this county until this election was solved.
Bipartisanship.
Bipartisanship. We want to work together, and the last thing we want to be known is people that can't get along.
Moribund, like the New York State Legislature, which is, they don't even know who's running the Senate.
They're from, the power is in the city, folks, and I don't.
That's right. They run everything now in the state.
Kathy Young would have been here today if she could, but she had shoulder surgery.
Shoulder surgery.
And I'm very happy to fill in for that. So I'll answer any questions. Just keep the calls coming, I guess.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your concern and talk. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. Send me a stamped envelope. I got a couple of gifts for you. $10 off at that beautiful restaurant at the foot of the hill, the lovely Lakeview. Okay.
But Reed, maybe I can go over some of these.
He got the budget in on time.
We'll keep talking, and you know, he did a state of the county address, and you know, whether you're a school teacher, whether you're a county employee, you can relate to some of our problems. We have a $12 million commitment this next year for 2011 to the New York State Retirement Fund. That's a concern. Can we prolong that? I suppose we could put that off a little bit, but yet you want us to come out and talk to you people and lay things out to you. You don't want us to sugarcoat it. That is a commitment that we have for 2011. JCC reimbursement, they're putting up a science building there. We voted to support that. The tuition is going to be higher. That additional cost is going to be about another $800,000. We know JCC is a jewel for this county. The other thing we have,
I must say, about half the eligible people in the county go to JCC.
Yeah, I mean,
and then they switch off to any other state university for their bachelor's degree.
Yes, they do. My family went there. My wife went there. My daughter went there.
My daughter went there, too.
And so what I'm trying to do this morning is just lay this out for you. We've got all summer to work on it. But another thing we have is we have health care insurance. We have $1.2 million worth of county insurance for our employees. That'll go up next year. We knew that. The salaries, another $1.5 million. So DSS services have increased this year. DSS, social service programs. We've had a 30% increase in requests. Now, we used to be able to screen them, but the government says we can no longer do that. Well, that's something that we have no control over. We need help from the state on that particular mandate.
The mandates, unfinanced mandates are outrageous.
They are, and people tell me, well, I don't like that person that's on welfare ahead of me in line, buying their groceries and taking cash and buying their beer and talking on their cell phone. These aren't proper things that happen. Well, they shouldn't happen, but they do happen. But what control do you and I have over that? Not a lot. But then we have some carbon credit loss the county executive got last year through the sale of carbon credits. Yes, we should have some income from the cogeneration of electricity. So as we go over these things, that's about $18 million hole that we have.
Out of a total budget of?
About $200 million.
$200 million, yep. And so that's a 9% over our budget, over our money.
Well, in the total county budget, it's about $200 and some million, of which we only fund, the only funds we have available are real property taxes and the sales tax, which totals, I think, around $50 million when it's all said and done. So you can start to see the amount of federal and state aid that has to come in to carry our budget.
Has not been coming in, unfortunately. They've been cutting us back in many areas.
And maybe the mandates do.
Again, there's no way you can get any more money. Actually, less money is coming in, they say, from sales taxes because people can't afford to buy a lot of stuff.
Well, and this is the other thing. We've a 1/4% sales tax. Now, you know our sales tax now is 7.75%. Mm-hmm. People say, well, if you raise it or lower it, I'm going to go to Pennsylvania. Well, for example, in Pennsylvania, they have a 6% sales tax. If you bought a washer in Pennsylvania and paid your 6% sales...
And building products are free. There's no sales tax.
That's true. That's true.
A lot of people go over just across the line and buy all their lumber.
Yep, some people do that. But I'm using an example of a $400 washer in Erie, Pennsylvania. You're going to pay $24 sales tax. It's $7.75 in Chautauqua County right now. You're going to pay $31 sales tax.
Not worth the trip.
So to me, it's not worth the trip. Now I don't know about your lumber. If you go over there and buy a whole load of lumber, what
If you're going to buy a house,
right?
You know.
But on your hand, I think if the Pennsylvania people come into this state and deliver it in New York State, I would think they would be obligated to pay sales tax.
They are, but you got to go and pick it up yourself.
Well, yeah, whatever you do. Now I can say I've never done that. I always go to Chautauqua Brick and get my lumber, and
they're a good company. That's a good company.
That's
they
what
are
I do.
terrific.
All I can do is tell you where I go. But like whether people go to Frederickson's or they go to 84 or they go to well, that's not the issue. But the point is, sales tax are important, but 1/4% in sales tax is $3.2 million.
Yeah, it's basically a spit in the wind for most people, but it doesn't really hurt you. There's nothing to it. I mean, you're talking like a $2 difference or something on an elephant, you know.
But those are taxes, and we have a phone call.
Yeah, we have a phone. Good morning, caller. Thank you for waiting.
How are you today?
Well, I'm fine. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing fine. I just want to go get my iPad today.
Oh, really? What's happening?
It started at 9 this morning, just as your show started.
What happened?
Oh, I thought you were going to go up and do live coverage up in Buffalo of it.
Sorry, I'm not, but maybe you are, Fred.
No, I'm not.
Anyways, quick question. What is the I know Fred is a milk producer. I was just wondering, like, what is the current price of milk that you get?
Not enough. I'll answer for him. What is it?
Well, right now the milk price is up to about $17 a hundred, and that has come up about $3 from the low we had this winter. But I can tell you, and you may have heard me say this before, most dairy farmers lost anywhere from 20 to 30% equity in their business last year. There is so much concern out there this year as we move into the crop season of how we're going to pay for our fertilizer bills, because quite honestly, ma'am, and I appreciate the question, but I'm just giving you my opinion, there's some of us that haven't got our total bills paid from last year. And I also sell seed corn, and it's just not going to be pretty. What can we do about it? I think there's a lot of things that enter into this. People aren't having the money to spend to purchase the products, whether they be milk products. I think there's our border now has been opened up to cattle under the age of 24 months. That lets a whole onslaught of heifers come in. So
what's that mean now? Normally you don't have.
Well, when they had the hoof and mouth outbreak, they
Yeah.
banned any animals coming into this country from other countries.
Oh, okay.
And now they just opened the border up, so that drives down the price of cattle prices. So if a farmer did want to sell out, now he's going to get less for his cattle than he would normally.
Yeah.
But the world market, our dollar shrunk. That's another issue that we have. So I hope that starts to answer your question. But we're certainly concerned about our future in the dairy business. But I believe it's strong here. I believe we have some great people. But we need a while to pay back our bills.
It's the same with all farmers, huh?
Correct. It's not just the dairy. It's also the grape farmers.
Yeah, the grape farmers are in real trouble because they had a crop failure, half a crop failure last year. Very small funding to help them out, and the sleeping giant, China, has put in something like 100 zillion acres of Concord grapes because they like them, and they're starting to come online. And you know what will happen when the Chinese sell the grape juice. So our grape farmers up here are switching to wine as fast as they can.
Well, and then we can get into that too. I mean, this whole thing with the wine sales in grocery stores, that's a real political
I'll
football.
talk about that a minute. I used to, most countries, you can buy them in wine in any supermarket. You don't have to go to a specialty store at the other end of the world to get your wine.
I know it, and I, for one, am a Farm Bureau member, and I am supporting the wine sales in grocery stores. Now, I will do anything I can. I just only hope, if this is approved, it does increase the price of grape juice for Chautauqua County grape farmers. That is my concern. I'm not sure that it will. I think one of the concerns is I don't think it'll put any more liquor stores out of business. I think you look at the statistics, the liquor stores, we've lost half our liquor stores in the last 10 years anyways. But if it'll bring a few cents anyways to the great people in this county, I'm in favor of it. But what I'm afraid of, if Wegmans has a 30% markup in their product to put it through stores, I don't believe it's that much. But if it is, they're going to go out and they're going to buy the cheapest wine that they possibly can.
And that'll be the salvation of your liquor stores because they will put in good quality wines.
Well, they might, but hopefully it'll be New York State wine now. The whole point of all this is we need to sell more
no
New
more
York
French
State.
wine.
Well, the point is, when it comes down to the almighty buck,
Yeah.
what kind of wine are you going to put in there? The cheapest and what moves the best. And I only hope it's Chautauqua County wines.
Yeah, well, there we are inexpensive. Our wines are very competitive. I've noticed,
Yep.
especially the one on the hill that
But
just opened up.
I honestly don't